Hey guys, welcome back to Beno's Sister Malcolm's channel. Today I'm going to share with you this game. It's called Fence It In, and I'm sharing it with you because for those of you who have been following me on YouTube right here, you'll notice that I've featured this game quite often. And for those who follow me on Instagram, again, this game has come up quite often. So what we're going to do right now is take a look inside. Then I'll show you how we use it for education, and then I'll let you know what I think about it. So don't forget to like, thumbs up, and subscribe because we always do game reviews. I have at least one coming every week. So the first thing that comes in here is this little instruction booklet, and it's kind of basic. It shows you how to use this. It's really printed on a piece of paper. There's nothing fancy to it. It's just fun to have. The next thing are these cards, and they're basic cards. They have different shapes in them, and they're just fun for learning area and perimeter. They do go from 1 and up, so 1 is very basic. Here's a number 3. One thing to note, we did go out of order. Assess your curriculum, how you're going to teach it, and then kind of order these cards according to the best practices you guys are going to use because you really want it to fit your learning style. We did change a few up. Next, it comes with these little tiles. These tiles, we refer to them as units. And then as we're learning, I'll tell the students today the units are whatever it is. Like, let's say we're learning large things, and we'll do it's a foot or a yard. If we're learning small things, it's an inch or a centimeter. But before I teach the concept of unit, we actually will say, ooh, how would you measure a room? And then we'll take out like a little inch, like, can't do that, but you measure a room in like feet. So just, again, these are the units. You could refer to them as units or pretend what it is. But whenever you pretend, just a tip, help your child by telling them a foot is a room. It's big. You measure rooms in feet. A yard is a football field, and a notebook is an inch. So again, that's important. Next, it comes with these little cards. So kind of you have the visual, and then you can take the learning, another step further using these cards. And last, there's a few of these really cute rulers, and each is the unit measure of the card. So these unit measures fit very nicely with the cards, and this is basically what you get. So this set has a little bit of everything. So the children can use the units, use the rulers, and follow me, and I'll show you more in depth on how we play this game. Alright guys, so for the demonstration, it's really simple. In terms of learning, the children are going to see the perimeter, which the first thing you're going to teach them is perimeter is the outside, so they understand. So for a perimeter, we have these unit measuring sticks. They are made out of a thin paper. So just kind of go over with your students how to be careful because, I mean, the top is a little bit laminated, but definitely not the back. So make sure your students' hands are clean, and it's very simple. Students always start off at the 0, and they measure. Measure is 5. But look at this. The students can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a very clean ruler. There are no inches or centimeters in between, and the students can see it. Then they do the same thing here. You have 2, and then you teach them the rest. Area is 2 plus 2, which is 4. 5 plus 5 is 10, and you got your perimeter. So that's the first thing I like about it. That's terms of teaching perimeter. Now next is area. Now area does not always make sense because the area is the inside. But guess what? You see this here? For the students, and you can actually do this something like this, like cross it over like that. A double visual. And you fill it up, or the students fill it up. And now you see I have one group of 2. And then I have 2 groups of 2. And basically what we're using is the same multiplication terms. I'm saying the same multiplication terms, but 3 groups of 2. But now the children can actually visualize why you need to multiply the length and the width. And there you go. There's your answer. So this is the most basic form. It is super simple, super easy. And again, you use the measurements and you use the units. So I'm going to show you a slightly harder one. Another one is this one. As you can see, the irregular shape. And irregular shapes are confusing. But guess what? Same thing as before. You take your ruler, you measure the units, and just add up perimeter. Now, in terms of area, what I like about this is that at first, because you have to find the shapes, guess what? Students don't have to find the shapes. And this is just a introduction into something they will learn later on. Look at that. So that will be more of a level 2, is just have the students get used to, because measuring and adding up, especially you've got like a gazillion lines going on here. Something that I find the kids find confusing is measuring like here. Like they'll measure either the lines horizontal or they'll measure the lines, vertical, and they're like, oops, I forgot that. So just the concept of having them measure all the lines, super easy. Another level, and I think this is a level that we work on a little bit without the ruler. This is something that I would do for my students also, is using the measurements here. So 1, 2, 3, and then, just keep measuring the perimeter. Then I would actually have them try to figure out where these shapes are. So, because, perimeter is kind of fun. Oops, sorry, upside down. Perimeter is kind of fun and important, but now you got to learn how to measure the area. So it kind of gives the area outside, but then you use that to figure out the area inside. And then, of course, once we have that, we check it with our units. In my opinion, students are never wrong. If they do get the number wrong, you know what did you do? What could you learn from it? Because we are totally here from learning. One last thing, just to take this to a, level, a harder level, is let's say I would actually pre-measure the units from here. I would hold it up, not share it with my students at all. And then I would say, you know what, by the way, how do you figure this out? So again, I would measure it. I would give them some of the measurements. And then I would have them figure it out. Because you know what? We're all here to learn together. And this game, totally a lot of fun. If you liked seeing how the game is played, give me a thumbs up so we'll do more gameplays and more education. Okay, so my overall rating for this game, it's a very tricky one. Now the rating goes from 1 to 3, 1 being I love it, 3 being I hate it. So we could rule off a 3. I do not hate this game. I think it's quite adorable. And I think it really can add a lot. But I'll have to give it more of a 2. It's kind of between a 1 and a 2. So maybe 2.5. No, sorry, 1.5. But I'll tell you what. This game has a lot of potential, and I think it is fantastic to have in the classroom. I think in terms of visuals, I think in terms of hands-on, the children can really, really feel and build what area and perimeter is like. So thumbs up for that. However, as you saw throughout the video, the quality is not there. Now, if you're a classroom teacher, you probably don't have enough to buy one per student. I know I don't. So if you buy one per student, and because they need it, it's really a one student game or a centers game. And then every time a ruler or the unit measurements rips, or you lose a square unit, and it does happen. It happens to me, and I'm so careful. And right now we're using it in our homeschool, but I'm eventually going to bring it over to the classroom. But even when you're so careful, it's going to rip. It is not made of durable material. And I'll show you again. I'll show you right now. Look, these are thin, flimsy papers right here. And the ruler right here, again, it's thin, it's flimsy. It's not plastic, see? It's not plastic. So in terms of durability, if you don't have super careful students, it's not going to last long. So if you're a classroom teacher, really pay attention to that. And if you're a homeschool mom and you have a little bit extra money to splurge, by all means, go ahead and get it. Again, this is, as you can see, it's literally just for area and perimeter. It is a short-lived manipulative. So if you have the extra money to splurge and like, oh, I have money in my budget for next year, then you know what? This game is fantastic and the potential is beyond amazing. So I highly recommend this game. The reason why I kind of gave it a 1.5 is really due to quality. But if you have this game, don't forget to like this video and let me know what you think, because I think this is fantastic. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to come back because we have tons more reviews coming out just for you so you can make your educational space the best it can be. Happy playing.